I drew a portrait of young Mary when she was your age, and her parents when they were guests at the Indian Queen. When my business had thrived for 1 year, I went back to Philadelphia and I asked for Lucy's hand in marriage. And she lived with me in Louisville for some time, where our first son was born. It was at the shop in Louisville that I first met Alexander Wilson. Have you heard of Wilson's warbler? Alexander Wilson was the first to attempt, and I emphasize attempt, to paint all the birds of America, but he was no artist and no ornithologist. And he died before he finished. But he had heard of my paintings. And so when he came to Louisville, he had a letter of introduction, and he sought me out in my shop. I looked at his portfolio. They were dead, lifeless birds, flat profiles upon a page. But I was intrigued with his work, and I was about to purchase a subscription when my partner, Rosier, speaking in French, hoping the Scotsman could not speak French, he said, "Monsieur Audubon, why would you waste your money?" I think he meant waste his money. "Buying Wilson's birds when my birds are so much more lifelike, more alive, finer art and better science." I declined to buy a subscription to Wilson's work. But he did stay in my home for several days. And several days I took him fowling in forest and field. As a matter of fact, I helped him to find several birds that were new to his portfolio, including the pileated woodpecker, and one of my favorite, the whooping crane. The first whooping crane that Alexander Wilson found was near my general store near Louisville on the Ohio River. But when he arrives back in Philadelphia several months later, in his published journals, not in a private letter, but in his public journals that he published with the work of, he said, "There is not one friend to art or science. Culture has not one friend in the Western wilderness." Would you take this as a personal affront? Knowing that I had helped him discover new species of birds? Shared with him my portfolio of art? Well, there was no love lost between Alexander Wilson and myself.